What's up guys, welcome back to K.D.P Programming, and in today's video we'll be talking about the ternary operator. And something that I always like to point out in these videos is these videos are not language based videos, but they are concept based videos, meaning that if you see me demonstrating a certain concept in a certain language, it does not mean that I'm mainly focused on that language, but I'm putting more emphasis on the concept. So if you are using a different language, you are still more likely to get the concept and apply it with the rules of your language. So without wasting any of your time, let's get straight into this. A ternary operator or an inline if statement, it's nothing but a shorthand if statement, and it looks something like this. You have your A, question mark, B, colon, C, and this evaluates to B if the condition or if the result of A here is true, or else it will evaluate to C if the results of A or this condition is false. So to simplify this, you can actually write it something like this. So we'll just say this is your condition, this is your condition, and this is your true part, and this is your false part. So to make it look simple, it actually looks something like this. You can say condition, then you have your question mark, then you have your true section, the one that evaluates when your condition is true, and you say colon, and you have your false part. This is the part that evaluates when your condition is false. So imagine if you had two variables that you had to test with. Imagine if you had x and y, and x was equal to 40 and y was equal to 50. And now what you want to do is you want to test if x is greater or equal to 50. So your condition will look something like this. If x is greater or equal to y, then you have your question mark. Then if this is true, what we want to say is we want to say that x is equal, or let's just drag this side so you can have more space to write, is equal or greater than y. Else, if that is not true, what we want to say is we actually want to say y is greater than x. So as we say that our x is equal to 40, you can actually see it here. Let's do this. We can actually see it here that our x is equal to 40 and our y is equal to 50. So what we'll do is we'll just substitute these two. So we have 40 that is equal to or greater than y. Then you have your question mark. Then if this is true, what we want to say is we want to say x is equal or greater than y. Else we want to say y is greater than x. So when we look at this condition here, sorry, I made y here, this is 50, not y. So when we look at our condition here, this is actually telling us that 40 is not greater or equal to 50. So this will result in false. So when we look at this, remember that we said this is our condition, this is our true part, this is our false part. So our true part evaluates when our condition is true, and our false part evaluates when our condition is false. So looking at our condition here, that we already see that 40 is not greater than y, so which means our final output or our results here would actually be y is greater than x, because we've seen here that x is 40 and y is 50, and we said if this is false, then we take in this part. So this is actually how a ternary operator looks like. If you are a fan of a Python, it looks quite a bit different, but it still behaves the same. So like I said, on these videos, I'm really not trying to show you guys or teach you guys a certain language. I'm trying to teach you the concept. So if you understand what I'm trying to teach you now, it's easy to take that and apply it to the language of your choice. But in Python, it looks quite different, but it still behaves the same. You just have to know the syntax of Python. It actually looks something like, I believe it is true if, then you have your condition in the middle, then this is your else part, then false. It's literally the same. It's just that things are switched a bit around in here. So before we were saying this was your B, and this was your A, and this was your C. You just have to know how it reads in the language of your choice. So in Python, it looks something like this. So if you were to do this, you would actually say this will actually be X is greater or equal to Y if X is greater or equal to Y, else Y it's greater. So I'll just avoid writing this sentence over and over again. So that means X is greater or equal to Y if our condition, our values, we said our X was 40, it's greater or equal to Y, our Y is 50, else our false part, which is Y, is greater. And looking at this, you can already tell that same as we did before, Y, it's X is still less than Y, so Y is still greater than that because 40 is less than and is not equal to 50. So our final output of our condition here is false, and which means our output will give us this result that says Y is greater. So like I pointed this out when I started this video, I'm not trying to teach you guys a certain language. I'm just trying to show you a concept. So most of languages that support this concept, you are more likely to get by with what I just showed you now. You just have to remember that with languages such as your C#, your Java, your JavaScript, it looks quite different from how it looks in Python. So without wasting any time, let's see how this thing actually looks in a code form. So let's quickly just walk through one code example. So remember when you started programming and you learned something like this. So I'm just going to quickly use the example that we used in our whiteboard. So let's just say results. Then we want to say if, so let's just declare our values. We had X, which was equal to 40, and then we had Y, which was equal to 50. So we said if Y is greater or equal to, so if X is greater or equal to Y, then we want to say our result is equal to X is greater or equal to Y. Else we know that that is not true. We write the false part, which is result is equal to Y is greater than X. Let's just read key so our program doesn't close immediately after running. So remember when you started programming and then you learned something like this. And if you run this, it will actually give us the same output that we had in our output because it's literally the same code. So let's just run that. Oh, I didn't write our console. I didn't write our output. So I missed that part. Just say console dot write our result. So if you just do that, you can see that it's giving us that our Y is greater than X, which is the same that we had in our whiteboard because our X is equal to 40 and our Y is 50, which is greater than X. Remember the first time when you were trying to learn programming, this is what you went with. And actually someone came and showed you that when you are writing a condition and you only want to execute a single line after that, you don't really need these curly braces. Then you started doing something like this. It still works as before. It's nothing wrong with it. It still works as before. So I just want you guys to see where this is going. So after you did something like this is the part where you actually discover your ternary operator, because it literally looks the same as what we have it now. It's just that you just have to refine it into one line, so it looks it's more smaller and it looks much cleaner. So what you do now is this becomes your condition. So we actually say our result is equal to, we take our condition and we put it here. We say that if our x is greater or equal to y, we have our question mark. We actually want to write the output of that, which is this part, that is true. Or if that is not true, it's false. This is the part that we want to write in our results. Let me just get rid of that as well, and we actually don't need this anymore. So you see how this went from being a multiple line thingy into a single line. So you can see that we actually declared and initialized a variable using the same line. So we have our variable that we declared here as results, and we're actually initializing this to x is equal to greater or equal to y, or y is greater than x, depending on the condition of our ternary operator, which is our x is greater or equal to y. So if we just run this, we are still getting the same output as before, because this is the same as what we had before. Like I said when I started this, a ternary operator, it's nothing but an inline or a shorthand version of your if statement. So that's it when it comes to ternary operator. There's really not much into it. So if there's a concept that you guys would like me to explain, just put that in the description box below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So cheers.